Hello and welcome back to the Football Rundown. I did say I'd talk about Stockport County again. Obviously not been on the channel posting up videos as much recently, but I did speak about England yesterday. Still very disappointed with that England game yesterday, to be honest. The way we played, look, I've already spoke about it, but I can't help but feel like, less than 24 hours still, I suppose, after that disappointing draw. I just feel really frustrated still. I think a lot of people have added and given their opinion in the comments, and I think obviously everyone else is feeling the same. Why can't England play as a team? We've got the players, in terms of ability. Why can't we get that onto the pitch? Why can't we see England play well? But let's get away from England then for a moment. It's difficult when the Euros is on. It's difficult to put your club head back on. But we're going to try and do that today because we're talking about Stockport County because there's a few things that haven't been mentioned on the channel since I haven't been feeling 100%. So we're going to kickstart obviously Callum Connolly signed from Blackpool last Saturday. Now, obviously not spoke about that. Don't know loads about the player. I'm going to say that a lot of the time this summer. I think when new players come in, but I've got a bit of information on him, very basic information on him. What kind of player we're bringing in Callum Connolly? And well, his contract's just expired at Blackpool. He's 26 years of age. He can play in a variety of positions. He can play midfield. He can play in defence. That's something Dave Chalmers also spoke about as well. His versatility, which I think will be a key asset. I don't think this is going to be a player that will necessarily start every game for us if that's the case, because if he's a versatile player, he's maybe more of a backup kind of player. Could be wrong on that, but let me know your thoughts on that. Over 150 championship appearances, so that's championship experience. We know obviously the club has plans to be in the championship by 2027. Bringing in a player like this on a 3-year deal, I believe it is, with that many appearances in the championship, it shows that this is a transfer that we're hoping will have longevity in it. We're hoping he'll be here for quite a few years, which I think is a positive thing. Came through Everton, made his Premier League debut, so he's actually played in the Premier League before, came on for Seamus Coleman in a 1-1 draw against Southampton. I'm not sure what year that was, but I read that from the club's statement on the website. But yeah, as I say, decent signing, free transfer, decent length of contract, good experience playing in the Championship as well. I think he's played in League One also, so ticks a lot of boxes. Again, 26 years of age, slightly away from the signing players at maybe 22, 23, but still not really, really old at all. Still not even at its peak yet. So I think it's a good signing for County. Like I say, not really watched him before. Haven't got a lot to base it off. Obviously, the pre-season friendlies will give us the opportunity to look at these players. I've said it before, I'll say it again. His position's a little bit of an odd one. It does on transfer market say he's a defensive midfielder. I've heard some people say he's a defender. So I'm not too sure. Make it out what you will. Maybe you know more about this player than me. Hopefully you do. And maybe you can tell me a bit about this player. Whether or not you think it's a good signing for Stockport County. But yeah, that was the one on Saturday when Callum Connolly was announced as a new Stockport County player, of course, whilst that was happening, Euros was on. So, and I was also at a family event, so therefore I wasn't able to speak about it then, and of course then I came down ill. So, I've just touched on that briefly, but of course County have also been active in the transfer market since then as well, and they brought in another new player as well. That's Lewis Bate, a former Chelsea and Leeds midfielder. He signed yesterday, or it was officially announced yesterday, but he signed for Stockport County. What do we know about him then? But like we said, former Chelsea, former Leeds midfielder, 21 years of age. That is very much in the profile of the player which Mark Stock wants to bring into Stockport County this summer. What can I say about him? 35 appearances for Oxford in the 22-23 season, so that's League One experience. I also believe he won Player of the Month there during his time at Oxford. 22 appearances from January for MK Dons last season in League Two. I think he spent the first half of the season with Leeds, maybe in the development squad. Then he went on loan to MK Dons, who of course finished 4th in League Two in the end. So he's got experience in League Two, he's got good experience in League One. He's obviously been highly rated in League One to get Player of the Month at some point as an award. So this kind of player, again, an interesting player, another free transfer as well, another player with a 3-year deal that he signed for Edgeley Park. I'm excited to see this player. If we just go and read a little bit about what Chalmers had to say about this kind of signing as well, if I can find it here, I think it's very interesting. He says that Lewis is a great player that we attempted to sign in January. I think that's a bit of a theme that's happening throughout this summer. A lot of players, we are signing the players that we previously looked at as well, which I suppose is a good thing. Lewis is a player that we attempted to sign in January, but it wasn't to be. From that point, we've kept an eye on his situation, and when we knew he was being released by Leeds, we immediately renewed our interest. We've had to be really patient as there was interest in Lewis from higher up, but thankfully our patience has been rewarded. For some time now, we felt our biggest evolution as a team would come from a ball-playing midfielder, but will not only receive the ball in tight areas, but manipulate space and play forward, as well as driving forward when the opportunity presents. This sounds very much like an attacking midfielder to me, probably the perfect replacement for Anthony Sarcevic. Let me know your thoughts on that. But he's also said Lewis is fantastic at all these things and will be of huge importance to our development. Personally, for him, playing in the Premier League and the Championship is where we want to get back to, and we really feel he has every opportunity for that to be the case. I would say that it says about Lewis Bates playing in the Premier League and Championship where he wants to get back to, not Stockport County. I don't think Stockport County have any realistic ambitions of being in the Premier League just yet. Obviously, just focused on being in the Championship by 2027, so I slightly misread that. But again, it sounds like a really interesting signing. This sounds very much like a player that will hopefully slot straight into the starting 11. But like I say, can't comment too much on the player because yet again, a bit like Callum Connolly, a bit like all our signings so far this summer, I haven't seen any of them. So it's hard for me to judge. It's hard for me to gauge. I'm only looking at where he's played, how many appearances, how effective has he been in that team, and that's all I can go off at the moment. But like I say, on the face of it, it sounds like a very good signing, and this is probably going to be a player that, by all accounts, will probably be in the starting 11 more weeks than not. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. It sounds like a really positive player in possession. Sounds like a really interesting player going forward on the attack as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him at Edgeley Park hopefully soon. But yeah, that's the two updates we've got to have on signings. Obviously, we had a bit more discussion as well today that's coming about Edgeley Park. EFL League 2 champion Stockport County Football Club have submitted a hybrid part full/part outline planning application for the phased expansion of Edgeley Park, which will increase capacity from 10,852 up to 18,305. So there we have it. The application is going through. Hopefully it'll be approved, and therefore we will see the expansion and work start in early 2025 on Edgeley Park. As I say, it'll be some increase. They talk a lot about the impact it'll have on the area as well. It does also mention it won't have too much of an impact, if any impact, on the people who have got tickets already in these parts of the stadium this season. If we just read the statement, it talks about how it's a very exciting time for the club. Ken Knotts, the non-executive chairman of Stockport County. This is a very exciting time for the club as we continue to go from strength to strength, both on and off the pitch, ending the year as EFL League 2 champions and achieving promotion into the EFL League 1. We have outlined our ambition to reach a championship and have already taken great strides towards reaching this goal. But ultimately, we believe that the expansion and enhancement of Edgeley Park is crucial to the support of the continued growth of the club and providing a platform for future success. As such, we are delighted to submit plans for the expansion and enhancement of Edgeley Park, helping to create a true community stadium. The ground means a great deal to the fans and local community, and we want to ensure that the stadium matches our levels of ambition so it can continue to provide a first-rate home for the club and the local community for many years to come. This bit is also quite interesting as well for people who are bothered, not just in Stockport County as a football club, but Stockport as an area. It says that if the proposed plans are successful, the halo effect of redeveloping Edgeley Park could be huge for both Edgeley and Stockport, predicted to boost stadium attendance by circa 150,000 per year. The benefits for neighbouring businesses are predicted to bring a gross value add of circa 2 million per year, supporting new jobs and further economic growth for the borough. Once complete, the redevelopment of Edgeley Park will create up to 25 new core operational roles, with an additional 160 casual staff expected to be needed for match days and other stadium events. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Edgeley Park over the next few months, over the next few years, to be honest, as we do see, hopefully, this expansion happen. I want to get your thoughts on how you feel about this expansion. Some people who have been going to Edgeley Park for many years might not like the idea of Edgeley Park suddenly looking at, slightly different, or quite a bit different, actually. Some people might not, like the idea of new fans going to the ground regularly. Maybe where you've sat previously has to be changed, all those kind of things that we have to discuss. And I'm sure everyone will have strong opinions on as well. So I want to get your thoughts on the stadium redevelopment. What are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts, of course, on the two new signs that are coming since we last spoke about it on the channel? But of course, just before we end it here as well, we are going to talk about Edgeley Park again, and they're having a little bit of work happening over the next week. So they've said, please note that the online county store will now be closed for a week whilst the club undergoes a stock take ahead of the 24-25 season. We thank supporters for their patience whilst we undergo this process. Sounds to me like they're getting ready for the new 24-25 League 1 Stockport County kit to be released hopefully soon. Want to get your thoughts on that as well, of course, how much you're looking forward to seeing the new kit, seeing what the design will look like, and of course, getting your chance to grab the new shirt as soon as possible. Let me know your thoughts on everything I've spoken about on today's video. Don't forget to like the video, of course, subscribe if you are new, of course, get those comments in as always, and thanks for watching.